We are live. Hey everyone, welcome to This Is Pretty Terrific. And as always, I'm Chris.
And as always, I am Marie.
Yeah, always.
Hi, always. I mean, it might change.
Let's
Yeah, I
hope
mean, my
not.
name has changed. My name has
Your name
changed.
has
So that's
changed.
hooray! Take that. For anyone, for Dave, if you didn't know, my full name used to be Maria Teresa Rios Care, and I recently changed it legally to Marie Danger Care.
Yeah, that was part of you getting married. And you didn't take your husband's surname, you
No,
took your existing surname and added danger to your middle name.
I changed my first name, which was Maria Teresa,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
to Marie, and then changed my middle name to Danger.
Yeah. Well, it was sort of like formalizing your nickname, I guess, right?
Yes, yes. Well, no one ever called me Danger.
No, but everyone calls you Marie.
Yes, everyone has called me Marie since I think second grade.
Yeah.
So yes, and I just wanted to like be on the legal stuff, Marie Danger Care. And one time I wanted to get a tattoo of the Dignity drawing by Kurt Van Houten from The Simpsons. Um, Want me to show the cat, Luann? Cat's gonna get it. Anywho, and a friend of mine, my BFF Zach, who might actually watch sometime, he told me, "Well, that's a long way to go for a bit to get a tattoo." I regret not getting it. Here's the thing: changing my name, it's a long way to go for a bit, and I don't regret it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, changing your name's kind of a pain in the neck, but I mean, it's worth it. You get to say your middle name is Danger, and it's true. Legally true.
Yeah. Legally true. Here's my driver's license. I actually haven't followed up with Social Security and all of that, so I have to do that.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
the Social Security Administration is not watching this stream.
Oh my God.
Social Security people jump through the window. What
Uh,
would their uniforms even look like? What would the Social Security uniform look like? Would they?
It'd say SS. It'd be really scary,
Yeah,
right?
would they
I was
just
like,
be?
oh my
They'd
God.
just be German SS. It's like, well, we're not Nazis, but
Yes.
like these were basically free.
They were discount, yeah, deep discounted.
We got these
Nazis.
all at the Army Navy store, and yeah,
The former Nazi paraphernalia Army Navy store. Cool. I mean, it's SS. It's our initials.
yeah.
Anywho.
And then they burst through windows and they hand checks to old people, right? That's what they do.
Yes, yes. Or they're like, here's your card, miss. Um,
Oh, and they have to give each person an ocular pat down to make sure that they're who they say
oh
they
yeah,
are. Yeah, they look and they're like, "You're
and
clear,
that's my yes.
Marie
It's clear.
Danger Care." There you go.
Yes, yes. That's how it works.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a fun job. Oh, it sounds fun. Get a lot of exercise, meet people.
burst through
Uh,
windows.
yeah, it's exciting. What a day. They think that they make it seem as the government jobs don't have a lot of excitement,
But
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 that sounds really
yeah,
fun.
but this imaginary thing that we just made up sounds thrilling. Yeah,
So thrilling. I do take issue with the Nazi stuff, but a deal's a deal. It's a
deal's a deal.
bargain. A
I
bargain's a
mean, yeah,
bargain.
you don't want any corporate malfeasance. You just and government malfeasance for that case. You want to cut
No.
corners, and that would be a heck of a corner to cut, right?
I I do worry about the comms, the PR around it. Like,
Yeah.
how does that read to the customer?
Maybe they just need to get another patch on it, like a smiley face. Um,
Mm.
like anywhere there was a swastika, you just make a yellow smiley face, and
And then like maybe a little strip that's like not Nazis.
yeah,
Social
like
Security.
not that Social Security. Yeah, you just have to be sure it says Social Security for real. That's what this
Yeah.
is,
Yes, Social Security for real. That's what this is. And you can just like print it and like every day pin it to yourself.
and it has to be in Comic Sans.
Yes, because everyone enjoys it.
Yeah,
You
everyone
know,
enjoys it.
everyone's like, "Oh, they're not for reals. It's okay." Yes, this is a great career move. I think I've been wondering for the last 45 years what I'm going to do with my life, what I'm going to be when I grow up. This sounds really exciting. It's a huge shift,
Yeah, it's a pretty big shift.
a big shift. But getting out there, meeting people, breaking through windows.
Yeah, and it kind of leads me into something that's pretty terrific that I don't know if you've
Oh
had
my God.
much experience with, but we're talking about like customizing these
Windows?
former SS uniforms, embroidery and embroidery machines. Have you worked with those ever?
Okay, I hand embroider or did until my neck decided to die.
Yes.
Yes. Not machines
Right.
because I'm all like a Luddite. I enjoy hand embroidery, but embroidery machines, wow, that would sure, make it whole a lot faster.
Yeah, embroidery machines are really cool. They make it a lot faster. They take out some of the human element, but
Sure.
they're really cool. I mean, it's basically like a printer for thread, and there's an
I'm down.
yeah, there's an art to like making the files so that the machine can read them right. But like, they're so cool. Like basically, you can take anything you have thread for, various colors, make the machine do it. Have robot do it, Michael. Yeah, it's great.
Show me. What have you made on embroidery
Oh
machine?
man, I don't have anything on me right now, but we do have a
Oh,
couple
damn
patches.
it.
Well, so this was made with an embroidery machine. This is our our company hats, and
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Tubby on there was embroidered by a machine, and he is a machine.
So that makes sense. It's like, like people for people, and it's like machines for machines.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like giving work to his kind. I get it. That makes
yeah.
sense.
We want we want fleshy and like non I guess AIs. Segregation is basically what we're espousing.
No, 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 no.
Well,
I'm
you
just
espoused
saying,
it.
I just, sir, sir, I'm just saying that he's, throwing a bone to his peeps.
Yeah,
You gotta raise them all up together. You're like, like if I could help out minorities and women whenever I can, absolutely, I'm down for that.
I, I
See?
I like the idea
Yeah.
that Tubby as a robot was like going to the embroidery machine was like, hey man, it gets better. One day you might have your own ice cream shop like me.
You might also be on a hat.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
be somebody's gonna print you the embroidery machine using someone else's embroidery machine.
You can hire out your brother, also embroidery machine, because brother makes embroidery machines.
Yeah,
um, um, and he could embroider you onto something. It's just like, rising tide raises all ships,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Come on, man.
So
Come on.
you've done a ton of hand embroidery, and but that's been for artwork most recently, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Um,
which would be really hard to program. Like that's something you want to do by hand because, and you're matching it up with your artwork. By the way, if you haven't seen Marie's art, a lot of it involves collage and embroidery, and so like
hmm.
the placement of the embroidery on the collage is super important, right? Like you can't get that
Yes.
wrong.
Yes, I mean, I can imagine you could program all of it into a machine. Like there are machines like the Cricut. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yes.
They will print and they will die cut. And I don't think they have embroidery, but I'm sure you can do all of this precisely programmed. But it's like embroidery for me was an escape from screens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I do not need to see like, oh wait, I'd love to embroider right now. Let me get out my computer. It doesn't seem, it's like I just like to look at not that.
No, I agree, and I think especially in the case of artwork, like you're only doing it once. You're not mass producing
Ooh,
this artwork. You're making custom one of a kind pieces. So it wouldn't even
yes.
make sense to do all that work. Like for something like this, I wanted a lot of hats. If I was making one
Yes.
hat, I probably would have done it myself. But like you're making, 100 hats. I don't get time for that. This
I
is
mean,
mass
it's
production. This is,
the design work is itself. It's work.
it
It's like
is.
it's intricate, and you have to learn programs and blah blah blah. Like I have one of those Cricut machines, and it's still in the box because I was looking at it and like, I have to like download an app, and the app's not good, and everyone hates it. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, this sounds bad.
Do I really want to do this? The answer is no. I
Yeah.
never want to do this.
I mean, I have it, and at some point I should learn, but it also seems like maybe I could just use scissors, or like, I mean, I do. Everyone, throw your phones in a volcano because once you get a bone spur on your spine, it's not coming off. But anywho, um, hand cutting, I used to hand cut like the collage pieces with like an X-Acto knife. And so I need to do an artwork. I owe this lady a piece of artwork from last year. Whoops.
Oh,
And I know, oh, pool guy. And I have to figure out how to cut with an X-Acto knife vertically so that I don't crane my neck. Thoughts?
oh, geez. I think you'd need to do it on some kind of mounted wall, but
Mm-hmm.
you want a place for your legs to go underneath it, like
Yes.
um, yeah,
This is rough. So what I was thinking is I have an easel. I put an easel up, then I put up a cutting mat, and then I tape the cutting mat. I tape the thing to the cutting mat.
yeah, that would do
I
it.
think. Is that okay?
No, that would totally
Yeah.
work. Yeah, the cutting map, just tape it there, and it might even be nicer. Yeah,
Yeah. Who knows? Here's a thing that's pretty terrific: self-healing cutting mats.
they're great.
How does that work? That's so cool. Yeah. They're self-healing. You got me at self-healing. And I'm like, whoa. I don't know if that's just clever marketing and they're just cutting mats, but I'm like, down. That's
Yeah,
rad.
for the members of our audience who aren't aware, like there are these mats they sell at craft stores typically, and they're usually green, right? Right? Like I think I've
Hmm.
only seen them
I
green.
have some gray ones.
Nice,
Ooh.
but
Yeah.
they're made of this material on top, and it's a little soft. It's almost like yeah, it's almost like an eraser tip, but less, pulley.
What are they?
It's
I
like
don't
a
know.
plush. It's super like fine plush, but
I'm going
it's
to just follow me here, Chris.
yeah,
What if they are a specifically engineered race of beings who like beings tiny, let's not say beings, let's say organisms that like moss sort of grow over a surface if you tell them to, and when they see a knife coming they all go, "Huh," and they just kind of stand away,
yeah.
and then when and they just are really attracted to each other, in a totally normal way, and then like the knife goes away and they're like, oh, let's hug again.
I like that.
Follow me here. I like that's
I
good. I
think
think that's what a
that's
self-healing
the best
cutting
theory
mat
I
is.
have. Yeah. So yeah, the
Yeah.
idea is that you can take blades to them, like the sharpest blades you have, X-Acto knives
Mhm.
and cutting implements, and cut things on top of it, and it self heals. I don't know if anything actually gets cut in them, but I do like your tiny organisms that move.
Yeah, and they just hug each other again.
Yeah.
They just hug each other again.
It's
Yeah.
it's very satisfying to cut on though. Like it makes you want to
Yeah, I know.
cut more stuff.
It's I what did we cut on before? Self-healing cutting mats.
You know what I did? It was I guess it would be just chunks of wood that you were okay with hacking up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use like corkboard, or I'll put corkboard under the cutting mat, which makes it extra cushy.
Yeah.
And there's something about the cushiness of it. It's like, yeah, that's some good stuff. Oh, I thank you, little people who are the little people who populate the self-healing cutting mat. Wow, what a very specific thing to call out as terrific. The self-healing cutting mat.
Oh, but it
Ugh.
is like I love calling out like goofy little things like that because it's something it seems small, but you know that teams of people have worked decades to make that thing the thing it
I
is.
mean, they developed a new biological entity to cover boards, and only those boards, never infecting anything else, right?
Right.
They are just these boards, and they can sense the blade and then avoid it and then hug each other afterwards.
Yeah, the amazing part to me is that they can sense the blade coming before it comes.
Hmm.
Like they're
Well,
oh,
they could see, Chris.
they got so they have eyes. Good.
Yes. Wait, eyes imply a nervous system, and I don't know how I feel about
And
that.
now we get into the
Oh,
got,
the ethics of if it has eyes.
yeah, the ethical
Mm.
implications of cutting boards.
Yes. Well, our one listener, Dave, had mentioned that he'd like us to dive a little bit deeper into some topics. Is this the topic?
This is
Is
the
this the
top.
one?
This is what he
This is
wanted.
the
He
topic.
wanted us to go right
Yes,
into
this is
this.
what you want, Dave. We're giving you what you want, which is the ethical implications of cutting mats. They're self-healing.
What if they're
Yeah.
covered with tiny animals? What then, man? Well, as long
If
as
they have,
if they're really good at getting out of the way of the blade and they never actually get cut, I would say it's probably fine.
yeah. Okay, maybe they don't have eyes, but they have sense organs specifically tuned to a blade edge.
Yes. And maybe so.
Yes.
It implies that they have some kind of ferrous, magnet sensor. They're just like,
Yes.
whoa, out
Yes.
of
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Ferris. Ooh, what a word. Good for you. Today's pretty terrific is Chris's vocabulary of very specific words I've never heard of sometimes.
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of those because we both specialize in different fields, I think. So like we got jargon, right?
Oh, yeah. Give me more. Ooh, hit me up. Because I can identify for you marketing and sales jargon, and you don't want to hear it because it infects your brain. Um, it's like sort of like if you ever spoke the true name of God, you'd go insane or something. I don't
Yes.
know if that's a thing. I'm not. Yeah, but it's like seeing an angel in his real form. You'd lose your mind. So yeah, I don't want to infect you with that. But tell me more about your very specific field. Ferris is really cool. I like it. What
Yeah.
else? Got a good
Well,
one?
Ferris is cool. I mean, I've been configuring a server for the better part of the last 24 hours, and that's diving into all kinds of minutia. And tech has tons and tons of jargon and acronyms.
I know what a server is.
Yeah, you know what a server is. Good, good.
Yes.
And how about like have so in terms of there's Linux is an open source operating system that runs
Yes.
most servers. But then there are different flavors of it. Uh,
Oh,
and so
of
have you heard of
course.
like Ubuntu probably?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, and then
But I've never heard it spoken, so thank you for telling me how it's said.
well, I never heard someone authoritative talk about it, so I could be talking out my butt. But
Okay.
yeah,
Ugh.
there's also Debian is another flavor.
Ooh.
There's so many. But so one of the things when you're making a website and you want people to be able to find it, there's this thing called DNS, which I believe is
Yes.
DNS.
I know
There
DNS.
you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have purchased many a website and then had it rerouted here and there
Yes.
for purposes.
And I'm
Yes.
doing that stuff manually for the first time because usually I would just get a host or I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, sysadmin, Haim, you go fix this for me." Um,
Himes your
well, he
sysadmin.
was when we worked together.
Okay.
But now I'm trying to learn how to do it on my own, like getting into the server's guts and like changing the config files to make sure the DNS is pointing to the right place. And it's there's a lot, but it's fun. Like getting
Config file
yeah
configuration.
yeah there you go.
Yeah. I'm smart.
And then one of the common directories that it comes with a Linux installation is /etc, which most people call Etsy. And this is before the website, of course, but it's something it's as you're working on config, it's like it's /Etsy whatever, and that's common /vars and /Etsy /home, all of these special directories.
Have you finally revealed the true origin of the name Etsy?
Oh, every time I talk about it, I reveal a new one.
Okay. I would like to come up with one sometime.
Yeah, I'd love to hear one from
Um,
you because yeah, it's
I
tough.
don't have one off the top of my head. What's your favorite one that you have revealed? Wait, should be like, for reference, Chris has a relationship to a website called Etsy, etsy.com.
Yes, I was one of the co-founders, and initially there were three of us, and very shortly there were four. We considered there to be four founders of the site, but
Jared.
Jared was the fourth
Yeah.
Beatle.
Yes.
But yeah, I was one of the engineering co-founders, so I did a lot. And back then, we did even more than people tend to do now because there wasn't cloud servers. We actually built the machines that the website was running on, and we put them together, put them into cases. We spliced the wires. We did. It was a lot,
Ooh.
and people don't do that anymore. People do not splice their own Ethernet cables, and I don't recommend it. Yeah, it's much cheaper and faster to have let Amazon do that or whatever.
Well, technology has taken great strides, I
Huge
think,
strides.
since that time.
Yeah.
But that leads us to every time someone asks you what Etsy means, you tell a different story.
Yes, because it's something
Why?
that's asked repeatedly, and it's an irritating question partially. So I like to just feed people nonsense. Yeah,
Okay, do you have a favorite? Because I think this is pretty terrific that you tell a different story every time.
yeah.
Um,
And this is
what's your
probably
favorite?
my most common one, and you've probably heard it. it's my most favored Quora response for anyone who's on Quora.
That still
It
exists.
still
Okay.
exists. But yeah, so it's like, how did you get the name for Etsy? It's like, well, back in 2005 when we were trying to figure out what we want to call this wacky site, we were like, well, we want to have something short and easy to remember, so we wrote this script. And this script went through all of the 4-letter domain names, all the 5-letter domain names, and tried to find out which ones were phonetic. And so like we wrote this script and we tried to put in a little bit of machine learning to be able to tell like natural language processing what would be the most pleasing to the ear. And we spent months and
Mm.
months on it, and we could never get it to work. It never worked. Um, but the name of that script was Etsy, and so we were like, oh well, that seems as
Oh.
good a place to start as any. And then we made a founders pact to always tell a different story about the origin of the name. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's great. I like it. I wish I could come up with a better story off the top of my head, but I love that because I was like, wow, you were building this site and splicing your own doodly doodly what's its, and then built is this program just to identify a name
Yeah.
and what was pleasing to the ear because you had all kinds of time and
So much
energy
time.
and money
All
and
those
all of
things.
this.
Yeah. It was just
Yes, you were
an
just
abundance.
swimming in it. You're just woo,
Yes.
and then yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
For
That's a
anyone who
nice
doesn't
one.
know, that was in 2005 that we launched the
Oh, we're
site.
so old.
Yeah. And in 2005, the internet was pretty different, man.
It was so different, dude. Dude,
Yeah.
was what a different age. That's 2005. I guess a year after I launched the sampler. Yeah.
Yeah.
So back in the day. Wow, what? It was such a different
It
place.
really was. And, in a lot of ways, I really miss the old internet, And it sounds elitist and gatekeepery, but I'm going to be it. The
Okay,
internet was
own
better
yourself.
when it was mostly nerds and normies couldn't get on. It was better.
Wow. I mean, I think it takes me a second to process the statement that you've created here.
Yep.
Because like taking a page from Milhouse Van Houten, I'm just in the Van Houten family today. Um, I'm not a nerd, Bart. Nerds are smart. Um, so it's like, but I want to be on the internet.
You were a nerd, dude.
So
You had your own custom website in 2004 that you were pioneering business models. You're a nerd, man.
that's not nerdy. It's just bored.
I see nerdy. I don't. I think it's got a positive connotation now. Like that's a thing you
Yes,
want to
nerds are
be.
smart.
Nerds are smart, and you're smart.
Yeah.
You own it, man.
Yeah.
We were talking about that
Okay.
before the call, actually. Like
Okay.
trying to be
Oh.
some kind of
Oh.
nerd.
Nerd. Actually, yes. I'd say I'm more of a geek. No, I'm not a geek actually. I'm not that awkward. Goodness.
Yeah,
Maybe I am a
I
nerd.
think you're straight up. Look at your glasses. Look at your glasses.
They're just for seeing.
And being seen.
Well, okay, yes. But also, can I tell you one thing? Like, so I used to get these sunglasses. These are all sunglass frames that I've had the lenses changed. And I really just love the shape of them because one thing I have not enjoyed about wearing glasses my whole life is that there's not a lot of peripheral vision. Do
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
because you
And
can't
so
see anything out the
you
side.
see it here, right? And I'm nearsighted, so I have incredible eyes for reading. Egghead loves her bookie book. um, but I just like I would be like, what the hell is happening in my periphery? And it would just be really weird. So the giant lenses give me just like bigger view.
Okay, so it's functional.
Yeah, I love it. I love like I can see so much more of the world. I don't have to be like, oh, like what's happening in my periphery because I had like normal stupid lenses, like a jerk,
Yeah.
and there's like, then there's like stuff up here is out of it focus, stuff down here is out of focus, over here, yeah, big lenses, bigger view.
Oh, it totally makes sense. And now that you mention it, like I do think if I had to wear glasses, that seems the most functional. Like you want as big a field of view as
Yeah,
possible.
freaking goggles might as well, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
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 So that's my approach to it. These sunglasses fit my face well, which is kind of challenging. I don't know if you've seen this nose. But it's and I have cheeks, and so these lenses fit perfectly. And yeah, I decided to make them into glasses. It's not a fashion statement. It's very much so the practicality. Yeah,
Yeah,
peripheral vision rocks.
but I think you've also like you've embraced the aesthetic too, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, first and foremost, it was form, a
Mhm.
function, but now you've embraced the form, right?
Yes. I mean, yeah, I have this pair of glasses in several different colors and makes, and I've been just I have 'em purple and white and everything.
So you have a stores just so like you'll never run out of this frame, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
I guess that
yeah.
makes sense because you never know when a frame will be discontinued or what.
Right. This may fall out of fashion, but I want peripheral vision.
So how many of that set of frame do you have? Do you think
Um, Probably six, maybe
six?
six,
Yeah.
six. I don't need to enumerate them.
No.
Black tortoise, dark tortoise, white, purple, a blue. So yeah, six. Yeah, a blue. Yeah, and then I have the sunglasses versions of them. So I have like a brown and a black of those. So I guess
Nice.
eight.
And see,
Yeah,
I don't have glasses, so I don't know how this works. Like,
good for you.
do you? I guess you can't just pop your lenses out into them. Like a professional lens person needs to do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So like at least six of those are like my current prescription, which has recently changed due to age.
Mm.
Yeah. Which I mean it stayed steady for like a good 15 years, and then they're like, oh, your prescription changed. And I'm like, oh man, is this because I got fat? And they're like, no, you're just getting old. And then I was like, oh, it would have been better if it had changed. Like at least like maybe I could do something about it. And they're just like, no, you're just getting older. This is just gonna happen as you get
Well, I
older.
just want
I'm
to
like,
know how you thought like gaining weight, getting fat would
I
change
don't
your
know.
eyesight. Like,
Like I don't I'm not smart. We just talked about this. I'm not smart. But like I definitely put on weight in the face, and maybe there's like pressure on the
it
eyes, on my
squishes.
stupid eyes, and it squishes my eyes.
I love it.
Because they're no, because what they were literally saying was the eye is no longer spherical. It's getting this way.
Yeah.
Um this ovoid,
Yeah. Ovoid.
eggy. What's the word for eggy?
Elliptical.
Eggy shaped. Elliptical seems like a 2D reference to me.
Yeah.
Is there a... Anyway, and I'm like, is this because I'm fat? And they're like, no, you're old. And it's like, ouch, that hurts even more. Because I can't do anything about that. It's just going to keep getting worse.
Yeah.
But this is pretty terrific. This is getting worse.
Well, you know
Um,
what's terrific? That leads me to think you like in cartoons and like various, I guess, movies. Like one of the things that villains always try to aspire to is they're trying to find eternal youth or like a de-aging
mm,
device or magical artifact. And I think as you get older, when you're a kid, you're just like that's dumb. Like I guess living forever is cool, but like why would you really want to get younger? And then you're like, nah, man, I get it. I get it. I would be chasing that.
uh,
I would be stomping on Scrooge McDuck just to get at that man.
we talked about this in the last episode. If you could give me the body I had when I was 20, absolutely. Oh my god, who would say no? I do not want to live forever. That's for sure. Because like you gotta pay for shit, so you gotta work all the time. It's like, oh man, I'm just it's this. Like when I turned 40, I was like, I have to do this again, like another 40 years. It's like, ugh. But the body part down. I'm so down.
Yeah.
I would rock this world, bro, if I had that. Bring me youth back.
Yeah. So you think you do things different?
If I had it right now, I just think I would be more powerful.
Okay.
I mean, how about you? I mean, you have barely changed in the 15 years we've known each other.
Um.
You look the same.
And well, it's hard for me to tell because like you see yourself every day, so you don't notice changes. And I don't feel. I feel like it's starting to creep up on the edges,
Chris,
but
do you trust me?
yes,
Do you trust me?
yes,
You have not changed.
okay.
Okay. You are the same man. that I met. Gosh, you were like 25.
Yeah, I was like 25. 20.
Oh my God.
No, when we met, it was probably was it 2007?
Yeah, 2007.
Yeah, 2007 I turned 25. Yeah, so I was 24 when we met.
Oh my God. What?
Yeah.
That's incredible to me. Behold the ravages of age. No, there's nothing. You don't look any different. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just telling you. I'm telling
I'll
you.
hold on to that for as long as it's there. But I know it's gonna change. Like that hair's gonna fall out and it's gonna turn gray, and you get this happens apparently. Steve and I talk about how Irish guys they get fat heads. You get a fat head, like your neck and your head just gets fat because
Why?
I think that's just how Irish men age. Yeah.
Oh,
You look at
interesting.
an old Irish guy and look at them compared to like what they used to look like, and it's
Like Conan O'Brien.
no more like a guy you'd see at a bar.
Okay. So Conan O'Brien at a bar.
Conan O'Brien. Well, see, he's got a weird body in general himself.
Oh, ouch.
He's
Yes.
just a very tall,
He's a
angular guy.
unique man. He's a unique man.
Unique
Yeah.
man, yeah.
Yeah. My husband is of Irish extraction as well, and I wonder if his head is going to get giant and fat. But that's interesting. Let me say, this is Chris. How many cultures have we insulted today? But anyway, I would say this, Chris, if that does happen to you, it will not affect your eyesight.
Okay.
Yeah. If you get a fat head, your eyesight is changing merely because you're getting older.
Well, that's good.
But I don't think I know McGarrigle in Project, for instance.
Yeah.
He's an Irish man, and not to say that he is old, but he is a bit older than me. He is as spry and normal-headed size as they come. So I've seen at least one exception to this rule.
Well, that's great.
And he is very much Irish.
I'm glad.
His name is McGarrigle.
Yeah, McGarrigle is. You don't.
He has no first name. It's just McGarrigle.
It's just. I'm trying to eat a sandwich. Is all I think from The Simpsons.
Yeah, no, he's a huge Simpsons fan, and like when he had Twitter, I don't know if he's still on there. His handle was McGarnagle. He's a wonderful person. I would recommend going to lunch with him if you ever have the opportunity, because it's like going to lunch with Irish talk radio.
Oh.
Because some people have called him McGarrelus. Hey,
yeah.
clever wordplay. And he'll just talk to you, and that's like wonderful. You just like sit and eat and listen to Irish talk radio. It's wonderful.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another wonderful thing I would like to point out is we
Yes, sir.
have a new background around us, a new Chrome, a frame for our stream, and that's all.
Am I looking at it?
You're looking at it. It's all around you.
Oh, wow.
But that's provided by Marie herself. She did the design on this, and I think it looks great. It makes me think.
Don't at me if you hate it.
And you might have noticed I was just messing around with, the positioning of Marie's head because there's settings we're still getting used to. But yeah, no, I like it. That's got a crushed velvet, very nice.
You like it's classy. Crushed velvet. It's classy.
It's classy. It makes you think that you're going to the pictures.
Yeah. Ooh, nice.
Or even better than that. You're going to an opera.
Oh, I love the articulation of the syllables that you put there.
Thank you. I tried.
Opera. Ah, lovely. Woo, I'm glad you like it. We can fiddle with this as much as we like and change it up, and maybe we'd have theme weeks of different backgrounds of nonsense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And she also made a triple layout for when we have a special guest. So
a special guest, Dave.
So yeah, I think we're just about all set up to be able to do that in the not too distant future. So yeah.
Next Sunday, AD.
Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about that?
Yeah,
Is
we
that
can
a
talk
thing that
about
we can talk about that?
I think we can talk about that.
MST3K? Y'all, here's a terrific thing that happened to Chris. Chris has this ice cream shop, and that's terrific, yes, but that's not the thing that happened to him. Chris's ice cream shop has been chosen to create. I'll let you take it from here,
Well,
Chris.
so a lot of things have changed. It's been scaled back. But
Okay.
so a friend of mine, Ivan from college, who I've been great friends with for decades now at this point, he is a producer at the new Mystery Science Theater 3000, which is a delightful show that many of you, one guy, may have seen.
Dave.
And yeah, they shot in Philadelphia this year, and it was very close to my house, just like a 15-minute drive. So he let me come over to the set while they were shooting, and I got to meet all the people involved with Mystery Science Theater, and that was very exciting because I've been watching that show since I was a little kid on VHS, and it was awesome. I got to meet, the creator Joel, and got to just hang out with all the current actors, and they're all such wonderful, clever, funny people. Um, but I brought them ice cream. Okay, with the pretense was like, hey, I'm gonna get you guys some ice cream and see what you think of it. But so what's gonna happen? They're having a big finale. The season's been ongoing for this year, and there's gonna be a final kind of unveiling of the final episode in December in the Philadelphia area, and I'm gonna
Next
be
month.
yeah next month I'm gonna be catering it with ice cream. Um, so there's going to be Tubby Robot, and we're going to have special flavors made just for Mystery Science Theater, and I'm very excited for it. If a little daunted because it's going to be like 300 people, and yeah, I'm not a caterer.
You're an ice cream man.
I'm an ice cream man, and yeah, hopefully, like I've done events before, but it's not our bread and butter. It's something that
Yeah.
I got to learn a little bit every time. But yeah, I'm,
Well,
I'm
how
really excited
terrific is
for it.
that?
So it's get
Yeah.
to hang out with the fans, and that's something. Mystery Science Theater has a very dedicated following. Like it's a niche, right?
Mhm.
And they've done really great stuff with the online community. They have forums, and the forums are very active now, and they're very active with like really nice, wonderful people. Either it's all really nice people, or they are moderated like a boss. I don't know which it is.
Both?
Both, maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's a place if you want to hang out with nice people, and you have any affinity to Mystery Science Theater, check out the Mystery Science Theater 3000 boards, the forums. They're awesome. Like people are just so nice and funny. Like it reminds me of like I'd sit in there and I read something. I'm like, it's like how the internet used to be, because it's self-selecting nerds, right?
Yes. I mean, I think there are many places like that. Not to, I mean, I imagine that you are absolutely correct. I love MST3K or did. I'm a Joel, like,
Die Hard,
I don't know, Die Hard. Yeah. I wanted to say something even worse, like just like Joel or die.
Zealot.
Um, Zealot. Yeah. So when I was a 14-year-old girl, I think 14, I was like, I'm going to grow up and marry Joel. And then I watched some sort of behind the scenes about MST3K, and they were talking about how Joel receives like fan mail from 14-year-old girls asking him to marry them. And I was like, oh. And I felt so hurt. It's not real. It'll never happen. But yeah, Joel forever. He's just
Yeah, he's
crushed. Be still my little heart. It's just, oh, that guy.
he was
And
great.
then Mike came along, and I'm like, Mike, he's no Joel.
Yeah, well, I
So
had the same thing, but then I got into it. Like some of the Mike episodes are classics too. There's
yeah, he's no Joel.
see, there's the zealotry coming through right there. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's no Joel. But I will say, not to plug a workplace, but hey, why not? We're doing it. Some places on Reddit could
yeah.
be really lovely environments. If I may say so, there are two subreddits I would like to call your attention to. r/outside. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, for the viewer, Dave, if you are not familiar, it is a subreddit where we pretend that reality is a Momorpaga, MMORPG, and the graphics are incredible, but there are a lot of problems with class selection and your leveling, and it's delightful. Again, self-selecting nerds to see how clever people are and how smart, like they apply certain aspects of Momorpagas to life that I had never considered. And it's so fascinating, the sort of overlap between these systems that govern our lives but then govern games. And I never, what an incredible analytical mind these people must have in order to view the world in these ways. And it's always it's delightful, it's funny, it's so smart, and it always makes me so impressed and feel stupid
Yeah.
at the same time.
I mean, not to continue your plug, but I agree. Like Reddit, like
Continue my plug.
specific subreddits, like really do feel like kind of what took over the torch from old school forums, right? Like, and I used to
Hmm.
love forums, and that's, you know, I used to build them and used to be
Etsy
very.
had forums.
Etsy had forums that I was very active in, and Etsy itself grew out of forums. So like it's just, I love that type of interaction. Like it's not necessarily long form or short form. It's just like whatever it calls for, and people get invested, and you get to know people, and it's awesome. And subreddits
Hmm.
absolutely do that. You gather people basically around some common flag, or you know, some desire they have, something they love, and you get them together and talking, and yeah, I think, and part of it there is because Reddit has a reputational system, right? Like that's part of the secret sauce. Um,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily anonymous, although like it's not your real
It's
name.
pseudonymous.
It's
It's pseudonymous. Yeah.
pseudonymous, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think even then, like you kind of care. Like once you're not just gonna go post trash somewhere, and you know,
Yeah.
because hey, this could reflect badly on my pseudonym, right?
Yes, and you want, like, we've gamified it with like karma points, right? And it's like, oh, meaningless internet points. I need them,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be downvoted, and I want to be upvoted. I don't know. It's the same sort of dopamine hits that you might get from other social media, but I think for the greater good.
Yes.
Where it's like, hey, we're judging you on merit because of the pseudonym and anonymity. Pseudonymity? No, 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 no.
Yeah.
And one other pretty terrific subreddit, which I don't think has the same community feel that you're talking about, where people get to know each other, but it's just beautiful for me. And it's just like some of the images there just like make my heart like ache. Is TheNightFeeling, and it's just photographs of like places at night, and usually sort of empty places at night. And the nostalgia, the vibe of it is just, it makes me want to cry sometimes. If they're good photos, of course. And it's just like, I remember like being, I was a bit of a wastrel in my youth and got around, and not like that, but but I would like I was unsupervised for much of my youth, and I would just end up in random places in the middle of the night, empty, and it's dangerous, so dangerous.
Oh, it
And it just
sounds
reminds me of
fun.
that.
Yeah.
I know, right? And this is like so dangerous to be like in like, where am I right now? I don't know. I like 13 in like the French Quarter of New Orleans, and some random guys playing Dave Brubeck on a saxophone, and it's just like empty otherwise
It's it,
because it,
it sounds like
yeah,
adventure is what it sounds like.
it's like adventure. But so if you go into the night feeling, it's like these late night adventures, but not with like a bunch of party friends, but like on your own, and it's lovely. I just love it.
I got to
Go
check
there.
that out. It sounds
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe you were more friends oriented at night than I was.
No, I mean, I think naturally inclined not to be. Like I would love to go off like on my own for sure. I just didn't we didn't go to Europe like that. Like it was just like,
Mm.
hey, I'd wander the forests around here in Philly. It's Fairmount Park. Like love doing that, especially at night. Like it's a cool feeling. There's like
Yeah.
a lone street light in the middle of the forest path, and it looks cool and scary and
Oh,
so nice.
take a picture, put it on the night feeling. I would love that. That's lovely. I have a nighttime story of a misadventure. So maybe I was at this point 16, 15, 16, but I spent a summer in Italy. And at one point, my class, so it was me and like some like college students. I was taking a college class there. And, they're older. I wouldn't say I'm straight edge, but I don't drink. And so these kids are like drinking and they like met these guys in the Navy, and we're in Venice at this point. And they're like, hey, we scheduled a date for all of us with like three Navy guys. And I'm like, look,
Oh
I have
no.
a boyfriend
Yeah.
and I'm like 16.
You're like,
And it's like, no thanks. But the ladies, the two girls that I was with, they stayed out. And like we had to leave Venice early that next morning. And this is a time before phones
yes.
and things like that. And I had never been to Venice before, but I needed to find them. And somehow I did. Like it's a city,
Oh
right? And
yeah.
I was traveling by foot, and like we all went to Piazza San Marco together to meet up with these guys. That's the big one with all the pigeons that you see in movies and stuff like that. And then I just went back to the hotel room and like read a book because I guess I'm a nerd. Embrace it. And then it started coming around like 3 o'clock, and we need to leave at 6. And I'm just like, okay, I need to find these ladies. And I found them, like, but they were separated. So I found one of them like under a bridge because everything's a bridge there. And it was just like, I can't imagine. Okay, first of all, dangerous as fuck for a 16-year-old girl to be wandering around Venice at 3 a.m. But it was beautiful. It was just so gorgeous. Like, that is already a beautiful city.
Yes.
And it is like lit up at night, very few people around. It was gorgeous. And though I was stressed about finding these people that I needed to leave with in the morning, it's like it really stuck with me as an experience that I will never forget. It's gorgeous, just beautiful.
It sounds amazing. I have had I was in Venice once. My family took a trip to Italy like at the end of high school, and it's a beautiful stupid city. Like it logistically makes no sense at all, and there's a reason it's slowly sinking to the ocean, and it will not be there in a couple decades. But it is so cool. It is. I mean, it's kind of like some crazy Escher-esque like artist would draw this city, right? Like it's just like
Stairway to
corridors,
nothing.
stairways to nothing. Yeah, there's canals everywhere and bridges over bridges, and it's just like
Yes.
this is stupid, but I love it. Yeah.
Yes. So just imagine wandering around trying to find two girls hanging out with Italian
With Italian
Navy
Navy
dudes.
oh God. Were they okay? Like was that fine?
Yeah, they were fine.
Good,
I mean,
good.
as far as I know, I mean, they did things. Let's say that. But yeah, they were very drunk. Let's say.
Yeah.
But they're fine. Yeah, we
Well,
got together.
they serve wine like water there.
Yeah, I mean, I never drank it,
I
so
never
that's
drank it
good.
either, but they were always like preemptively pouring everyone wine. I'm like, just
Yeah,
water. And they charge you for the water, but not for the wine at a lot of the restaurants, at least back then. And I was just like, this is weird.
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember paying for stuff.
Do you remember stuffing your face?
Oh my God! So I was just about to say, I grew up in the Texas Panhandle. Not a lot of great produce, let's say. Maybe excellent beef selection,
Yeah.
but the markets there. That's how I discovered that fruit and vegetables taste good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Raspberries, like fresh raspberries. A peach. Oh my God. Like I just like go into the market in the morning and there'd be like amazing food. It's just like the food's so good. Why? That's pretty terrific. Raspberries in Venice in June, I guess. That was amazing. Whew.
Yeah, now I want to just eat a whole pile of raspberries, man. Mm.
That sounds great. Maybe just like I like to hand whip cream and then just like with some raspberries.
Dude, that's a simple pleasure right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
done.
that's a high rated simple pleasure right there. Everyone, whip up some whipped cream by hand. You don't even need to add sugar. You just need heavy
I
cream.
don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
heavy
just
cream.
need heavy cream.
Yeah.
That's all it takes, and it's so good.
Ooh. Oh, I wish I had. Why don't I have that now,
Well, we
Chris?
could. In fact, like that's a great note to end it on, and then go get some.
Yes. Let's all go get some right now.
Yeah, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure talking, and we'll see you at the same time next week, right?
Yes, ish.
Ish.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah. See
Bye,
ya.
everybody. Bye, Dave.
Bye, Dave.